Okay, this a bunch of distractions come on the screen. We've got a new plant in the land of the seven suns. Hopefully, it's just a cutting. We'll see how it goes. And I say that because this is apparently a more complicated cutting. I guess more complicated in that you can put a pothos in a glass of water. Chances are you're going to get roots. I am told if you put this in a glass of water, it will just rot. Well, okay. I took that into account, but this channel has never been about learning what others know. It is more about learning what works, or at least what works for me. I've heard people say, oh, me and the kid are going to go do science. We're going to do the double slit experiment. That's not doing science. That's educating about science. See, there's a difference there. You do the double slit experiment and you say, oh, I've made an amazing discovery. The double slit experiment is wrong because I didn't get the result I was told I would. Yeah, no, it's not the experiment that is wrong. Enough people have done that one that we can say you did something wrong, and that's why you didn't get the expected results. Yeah. So, if you go around telling people that the double slit experiment is false because you didn't get the right result, the first scientifically literate person's going to be, no, let's do it together. I'll help you get the result that's expected. And maybe they'll even figure out what you did wrong and be able to explain that. Still, it's education. Just because they're a scientist or scientifically literate doesn't mean they're doing science. They're just educating about science that's already been done. So, this channel's not really... I don't expect that I'm going to do any real science. But I am figuring out what works for me at the very least. So, I was told that if I put this in water, it will just rot. My first thought was, yeah, you just put it in a jug of water, say, something like that, fill it up with water, put the plant in it, it might rot. I've had, well, maybe not pothos, but I have had plants rot in that scenario. So I thought, okay, maybe if I add an air stone. I'm always talking about aeration of the water being very beneficial. Yeah, maybe. But I've also had an experience of a plant with a, air tube in there bubbling away, and the plant didn't make it. Was it too little light? Yeah, I kind of suspect that was a part of it. Was it the water moving around too violently? That might have had an effect too. So, this time I'm not doing the air stone. I have decided... Sorry while I scratch my itch there. Yeah, I have decided to use these beads. They really like to suck up water like a sponge. Not sure what they're called, but there's probably a bit of perlite or pumice, something like that in there. But there's also these beads that just suck up water like a sponge and expand to 100 times their size. I think you might get what I'm talking about. I hydrated those, and I put the plant in there. I'm looking at it every day, seeing what happens. So far, it's, sitting there. It was kind of limpy when I got it, and it seems to have firmed up. So, we'll see. We'll see if I get roots, or if it rots, because that's a rather moist environment in there. But I'm giving the air a chance to circulate through. I'm not just, it's not just full of water, There's hopefully some air pockets that can get through. And we'll see how it does. And maybe I will have a new plant. This is apparently a Jewish vine, Jewish basket, Jewish something. Probably a common name. That certainly doesn't sound like a scientific name. But yeah, Jewish something. So we'll see. I know, kind of boring, just focused on one little weed type thing. Let's have a look at a few other plants, just to add a couple of minutes. Okay, here we are at the 55, and I should have tidied the Monstera, that one. That needs tied on to the trellis thing here. Down at the bottom, it's going everywhere too. It needs to start heading back up. But despite a couple of burnt leaves, crisp leaves, it is doing very well. We'll come down. It's got some bigger leaves toward the base here. I'm trying to decide. It's like they were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but then when it went this way, they didn't continue to get bigger. So that's interesting. It just kind of turned. I mean, does it really need to go up to get bigger leaves? I'm confused. But it's doing good. The Monstera is doing good. There's the newest leaf that's starting to act like a Monstera, so there's that. And, yep, the pothos growing around. There's one of the aloes. The other aloe that's gonna go to the garage sale. And the basket plant. It's a bit of a monster. So, we'll see. We will see. Let's see, maybe we'll go over to the eastern window and have a look. Alright, here we are at the eastern window. I'll kind of focus on it a little bit. I really don't want to touch that peduncle this time. The other one has dropped. It's a little bit older, but since it's dropped, that means this one's getting old. It's still there. There's my little tree. It's struggling for some reason, and I'm not sure why. My, oh great, I hate it when a name won't come to me. But yeah, it's, I kind of think that maybe it needs to move away from the window in the hottest part of the year. Maybe that's why it does that. I need to do some watering. I'm noticing that this jade over here is not happy. The fiddle leaf is not happy. Monster Aloe's doing good though. That's the big mother. The big mother, that's an interesting nickname. The big mother. Here's the oldest pup there. Yeah, I need to water. Yep, a few plants in the windowsill. The not huge but big jade. Alright. And the ladder outside, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Really do need to do some trimming out there. Alright. I think I'll let you go with that and talk to you next time. I'll be watering.